Welcome to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. I'm Bernie Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward sons. I intend to talk about important topics every week in hopes of helping to improve our country and our way of life. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe as we try to grow the channel and defend America's middle class. So, let's get started. Our guest for this week is Mr. Leo Salazar. He is president of the Latin Republican Organization of Maryland, a dynamic political organization committed to supporting the Republican Party and its candidates who share our community's values. By blending traditional values with modern communications methods, the Latin Republican Organization of Maryland strives to contribute to a better America and champions a vision that resonates with the rich cultural tapestry of the Latino community. Mr. Salazar is a returning champion on our program, and he's also a personal friend of mine. Leo, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you. Thank you, Bernie. Doing well so far.
Man, what is this, your third or fourth interview today?
It's my third interview today. Yes.
My goodness, you are popular, brother. You are the man.
Thank you.
Well, brother, I tell you, I value your opinion. The audience values your opinion. I want to talk to you about the presidential election, and I have some questions if you don't mind me asking.
Please do so. I'm here, and I promise I give you an answer that it's nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth.
Man, you always tell the truth. So,
thank you.
What policies and factors resonate with the Latino citizens given the competition between Mr. Trump and Ms. Harris for their vote?
Bernie, such a good question. You always have good questions. Let's see here. This is the year, I think, no, I don't think I know. This is the year the Latino Hispanic community nationwide, we are going to, for the first time in our lives, since first time in my life, we are going to play a big role. We're going to play a role that the numbers are there. Every time I watch the news, the Latino Hispanic community, the numbers are going Mr. Trump's favor. And the reason why is because he's a straight shooter, Mr. Trump. He tells us like it is. They know what we need. But I'm always trying to be so polite to the ladies, very diplomatic. But Miss Kamala, she I don't know. She never answers a question. It drives me crazy because the Latino community. I know that we many people in the Latino community, with due all respect, are they cut my grass or they paint the house and they are cute. They're pretty intelligent people, but you got a lot of people cutting grasses. They have back home. They got the degrees on. They're doctors. They're engineers. They're architects. Mm-hmm. So I think to be a president, you got to tell it like it is. And people get scared when Mr. Trump say, "Well, I'm going to deport everybody." Well, he's not going to deport me. He's not going to deport a lot of people. Just the bad guys. There are a lot of bad guys here. From the Hispanic community, just kept the last two and a half years or 3 years. So there are a lot of bad guys, and I'm not going to get into it, Bernie, because you see the news. You watch the news, and you know what's happening. There are a lot of bad guys up there. Even the Latino community and Hispanic community has been divided. I mean, we're into two groups now. We don't like the guys that just came a couple of years ago and then doing bad things. So there is a big issue there in Ms. Kamala. I don't think she understands what the issues are. She doesn't give you a straight answer. And what is she going to do for the community? You ask her a question, and she comes. You're talking about apples, and then she says, "Well, these are bananas." And I know a lot of us come from banana countries, but still, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mr. Trump is going to do well. He's going to do very, very well with the Latino Hispanic community.
Absolutely outstanding. You know, Elon Musk, he said, and I quote, "Very few Americans realize that if Trump is not elected, this will be the last election. Far from being a threat to democracy, Trump is the only way to save it." Leo, what are your thoughts about what Mr. Elon Musk had to say about Trump?
Bernie, I think he's all right. What's going to happen to this country? I was not born here. Many of my friends were not born in the States, in the United States, but we love this country. You just can't imagine. It's funny when I go on vacation, I miss the United States because when I come home, I can still go to Latino restaurant and eat as well as I eat back in the country that I was born. And where do we go? What if this country becomes, which I hope it never does, a socialist country, a communist country? Because the way people are running this country, like Mr. Biden and Ms. Kamala, the ideas that they have, let me give you everything for free. Who's going to work? I mean, who's going to do the right things about life? And my kids going to school and college, and I always tell my kids, you got to do better than I, and you got to do all those things. And I think it's so true. We need, if we want something, we work for it. Don't give it to me for free. So if that's the way democracy runs, I just don't want to be here. But I have kids, they're young kids, and I need to be here. I need to do the right thing for them. I need to work for this country, and we need to defend that flag. We need to defend that flag, and we will do it. I tell you, we will do it.
Outstanding. Another question for you. This is about free speech. Now, part of the Democrats' platform seems to be stifling free speech and equating it with hate speech. And I see hate speech, there's an opportunity for government overreach. Our First Amendment gives every American the right to free speech or the right to say stupid things. And that vague attempt there is any vague attempt to curtail free speech will eventually empower the government to curb free expression and free will for all of us. So what are your thoughts about free speech and the First Amendment to the Constitution?
I guess free speech is something that many of us, especially the ones that came from Central and South America 20, 30 years ago, something that we were not used to. Free speech, I can go ahead and say, Bernie, I do not like the car you drive. You in South America, you tell one of the guys says, I don't like the car you drive, and you're going to get shot. You're going to get beat up. It's something that our Constitution has given us, our founder fathers has given us something that we can hold to it, dear to our heart, and it's so important. But I think the way that the speeches are being done lately, Ms. Kamala, any speech that she has to insult Mr. Trump, President Trump. She has to do. I mean, if you see her in her speech. And one of my friends was telling me, Jorge was telling me, I was listening to one of her speeches to the Latino community on, I think it was Univision. And they ask a question and she talks at least 6-7 times. President Trump's name comes in the speech. And it's not, and she doesn't say nice things about it. I mean, maybe she thinks that Trump is a Nazi or Trump is a bad guy. Trump takes advantage of. She gets into too many things they're not true, and I think Mr. Trump, when he has his speech about her, well, she's been called lazy, which I think is true. She's been called nothing that she hasn't done. But I'm sure that Mr. Trump is not a Nazi, and he's not gonna be a dictator when he becomes president. So we have to hold dear to us that First Amendment that we have that we didn't have in our countries. Like I say, you say something in any country in Central or South America, and then the government will hurt you. Yeah. That's the bottom line. I can mention some of the countries. How about Venezuela? Say something against the country. If you're not with the country, you're gone. You're history. But here, I can say, hey, I don't like your bicycle. I don't like that clothes you're wearing, and you're fine. So I hope we don't lose it, Bernie. I just hope we don't lose it.
Well, I appreciate all the efforts that you're making, and a lot of people don't see the things that you're doing behind the scenes to rally not just the Latino community, but all the Republicans. And I just applaud you, and that's why I love having you on here, man. I enjoy talking to you. You got a great mind.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you so much for this. This gives me positive energy to talk to my group and do good things and say thank you, American, for everything you have done, helping us to do well. At least I'm here at home, in my little office. I can sit. Other people in other countries are hiding somewhere. If you're in Venezuela, if you're in Nicaragua, if you're in Cuba, there's no electricity in Cuba. I think it went back a couple of days ago. There was no electricity in Cuba. Why? My goodness. So, thank you, Bernie. Really, thank you.
Well, I got another question for you. You know, the Harris Biden administration, they've been flying asylum seekers into the United States and bringing them into swing states like Pennsylvania and Ohio and Wisconsin and Arizona. And for me, it looks like they're trying to turn these states into California. And I don't think California is the kind of place we want to live in. So what are your thoughts about that subject?
That's interesting that you asked. A couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with, and you know, Bernie, I thank you again because this is a way I can tell you things that are happening with our community here. I met a couple of guys from Guatemala, and they're Republicans, they're registered Republicans. And he was telling me, you know what, I think the Biden administration is trying to do, they're trying to divide us.
Yeah.
And we bring a couple of millions of people from other countries. And those the ones that are coming, they're rough people. They come with guns, they come with trying to take over our communities. If you go to Langley Park, I've been going to Langley Park the last couple of weeks. And you know, it's funny, you can tell who is who there, but by the way they dress, by the way they talk, by the way they act. And I had never seen Langley Park is a small community, business community, Latino community, and you can see the new faces. Of course, I I went in my nice little car. It said Trump in there on the side of the car, and this guy just came around, and I looked at him and I said, "Oh no." And one of the guys looked at the Trump sticker, and I said, "Oh, if he's going to do something, I'll be screaming for help." Because these guys are tough. And you can tell they don't belong in that neighborhood. And you can tell they're new by the shoes they wear, by the tennis shoes, by the clothes they wear. They don't speak English at all. My friend from Guatemala was telling me, you want to stay away from them because they're coming from New York, they're coming from California. They see how much they can take away. They begin with our community. And this is true. And the police should know this, and maybe the police know this. Because in each force, like in Montgomery County, Howard County, they have a couple of officers, they're Latino. But I think they're still in diapers. They really don't know what's going on because you have to see the situation, this especially in Langley Park, not even Wheaton. In Langley Park, and they come and they infiltrate and they see the stores, and then they will approach the owner or the manager and they say, at least that's what I was told, and he will be on my event on November 1st, and I'm going to announce him because he's such a great guy, the whole family. And they say that, listen, are you sure you want your bodega to be okay? If you give us $100, we'll make sure nothing happens to you over there. And this is beginning to happen. And you heard him from Leo. And the police should know this. The police should take some kind of actions in Langley Park. Because I was there for a couple of days, couple hours. I didn't see one police car coming by. So they did that in other states. This group, which Tren de Agua, I don't know if you're familiar with that organization.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
They're rough. They're tough guys. I don't want to mess with them. I want to be around a little bit longer. But again, Bernie, it's. I hope, I pray, Mr. Trump get into office, help the community, not only the Latino community, the Filipino community, Korean community, all communities. We gotta do something because the Biden administration, and if Ms. Kamala gets elected, it's everybody's going to be carrying a gun. Everybody's going to be carrying a rifle or whatever. And we gotta take care of our own, the good guys.
We got to do better. Well, hey, you mentioned the event on Friday night. The Latino Republican Club of Maryland is hosting an event on Friday night, and I
Yes.
plan on being there. Can you tell us more about it?
Oh, Bernie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. For the first time, maybe it's been done in other states, but for the first time in Maryland, we are going to have hopefully at least 300, 400 Latinos, Hispanics for different countries. And we're not going to fight because there's no football games that it, no soccer games. Um, uh, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Peru, Argentina, Venezuela. We're all going to have this little, not little get together, this big Fiesta Latina to get ready for November 5th. We're going to have some dishes from different countries. We're going to have music from different countries. We are going to have some of the politicians coming by and say hi to us. It's going to be good times. It's something that we were thinking about it for the last couple of months, since last year, and I think we're going to do well. And I thank you so much, Bernie, for coming because you can see, and that's what I was telling Neil Potter, who's running in Frederick for the 6th district. He came by today to one of our radio shows, and I hope I didn't get him upset. I say only, we want to show you guys that are running for office, the Latino community in Maryland, it's coming out. I know, because if I have, and I can show you anytime, in my list, 28,000 registered Latinos, they were quiet, they didn't want to come out, they didn't care, are beginning to come out. Maybe it's not going to be this year, but maybe in the next 4 years, we are going to be out in force. We're going to be participating because they register Republicans and they remain quiet. And then they will say, well, after November 5th, the elections come up, nobody will care about us. They will forget about us. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, we are here to stay. This organization are here to stay. We want to do well. But Bernie, we want to let you know, you and everybody who's running. And if you call Leon, if you call John, if you call Ricardo, you could call Ruby, I need volunteers. I need help. Hey, we'll be there for you because that's what we need. We need to work together. And I mean work together. I am a team player. But if you don't want to be on my team, that's fine. I keep on going. And we can do this this year. Is so important, but on November 1st, which is a Friday from 6 to 12. And if they want to get in touch with me directly, I give you my cell phone number. It's 301-448-6936. And when you're there, you'll see, wow, there's so many Latinos and they all can vote. They're all registered to vote. There might be a few there. And you know what I heard? Oh, that's what I heard, something that's interesting. Trying to get involved in everything. And I have a lot of people that really likes me a lot. I said, Leo, you're going to find a few Democrats from the Montgomery County Democrat Club. They're going to be there watching you, what you do. I said, that's great. That's fine. When I get that microphone, I'm going to say, I want to welcome. I don't know where you are right now, but I'll come and say hi to you, to my Democrats friend from the Montgomery County Democrat Club. So
it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. So we'll see, Brian. I hope everybody shows up.
I think you're going to have a great crowd, and I'm going to be there, and I just think it's going to be awesome. And the bottom line, though, is that the Latino community, as you say, is not going anywhere. We're all family people. I mean, that's what the whole deal is about. We're trying to protect families, whether it's Black, white, Korean, Asian, you call it, you name it. People are trying to keep their families together. And I believe that the Democrats, specifically Ms. Harris, is against that. And that's why you and I bond. And we're going to try to support you wherever we can. So bottom line is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to say something that I wanted to say thank you. This is a way that I can communicate with the community as well. Everybody knows about your show. I enjoy so much being. I'm comfortable. I just want to say thank you, Bernie. Really, I'm not trying to give you. We have this old saying in Spanish. I don't want to give you flowers, but we got to give credit where credit is due, and you do so much for us as well, helping us in many ways, believing on the Latino community, believe on us because we're gonna help as much as we can. As we said, we have grown, our list has been growing and growing. You have to be there to see it. Anytime you want to see what we do, please come to our offices. This time we didn't have a chance, but the last week before the elections, we're going to be on TV as well. We try to communicate with the Latino community in the state of Maryland. We got to get Hispanics to become part. Just don't register Republican and just fade away. Bernie, thank you for having me. I won't forget it. We love you very much. My wife thinks a lot about you. I talk to her a lot. It says, make sure you finish within a half an hour because I'm going out to dinner with the kids. And well, they're not kids anymore. They're 18, 13, and 21.
Wow.
If you're not here by 5 o'clock, I'm gone.
There you go. Well, man, I won't hold you up any longer. I just appreciate your presence. Your wisdom is just universal, and there's hardly any question I can ask you that you don't already have an answer to. So people love listening to you, and I just appreciate you coming on the program, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. You have a great weekend.
You too. I'll see you soon. Friday night.
Friday night.
All right. Well, that's about it for now. This has been the Loyal Opposition Podcast, produced in association with Fallback Productions and Veterans for America First. Please like, share, and subscribe as we try to grow the channel and protect America's middle class. Be sure to get your copy of my book, Black Values Matter, available as an ebook on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. And also, remember, it's okay to disagree. But if we want our country to prosper, we must insist on unity, transparency, and civility for ourselves and for our fellow citizens. Thanks for listening to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. We'll see you next week.